Let's learn how to add freeze frame to a clip and recreate this. So I've got two clips here. The first one is a fight scene, and the second one is this guy standing in the elevator. We've also got some music, but we're going to add that in at the end. So the first step is to find a good place or a good clip for our freeze frame. So it is very personal preference, but if we have a little look, I'm going to scrub through a bit and let's find something. Yeah, that looks good. So yeah, so it's a nice action, yeah, nice lines. Yeah, that one looks good to me. So what we need to do first is to make a cut. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so we can see our individual frames. So the first thing we need to do is make a cut at that point. So we just go to our cut tool and we make a cut. Then we need to move forward just one frame, and I'm going to use my forward arrow keys. We're going to the next frame. So we need one frame. So again, we do another cut. And there we go. So we now have our one frame cut. We can zoom in a little bit more so we can see it. Now if I click on that one scene, or one clip, right click, and now go to change clip speed. I now change it to freeze frame and press change. That is now a freeze frame clip. So we'll just zoom back out again. Now, if I was to just sort of play through and scrub through at this point, you wouldn't notice anything going on because one frame and we haven't done anything. So if I now drag this clip forward here to give me some space, we move forward to a point, about 4 seconds, that probably be about right. Yeah, let's go to about there, that's good. Now if I click on that freeze frame clip, now if you can't see it too well, you can zoom back in to make your life a little bit easier. So if we now click on it and drag it, and we'll drag it up to that point there. What we've done is we've told Davinci that this freeze frame, you want it to last for this duration or these many frames. So if we now zoom back out again, play that clip, we get to that point, we freeze, and then we start again. And that is it. It's as simple as that to create a freeze frame. Okay, so we're looking good so far. So next step is to find the second freeze frame. So we're going to scrub through to find it. And what we'll do, we'll just turn this track off for a second. And let's scrub through. And let's find something that we like the look of. Yeah, I like that one. It's got a nice line. Looks like we can see exactly what's about to happen. So that looks like a good candidate for a freeze frame. So again, let's just zoom in a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Let's hit the cut. Jump forward one frame using the forward arrow key. On the cut. Make our second cut. Select the frame, right click, change the speed, and we'll make it a freeze frame again and change. And there we go. So as before, let's just move this part up out the way and let's just drag this up, making it a little bit longer. Okay, so this time we're not going to continue. We're going to stop at the freeze frame. So we're just going to click on this part of the clip. We don't want this bit anymore, so we're just going to highlight it as we're done. And we're now done. So if we now play this through, first freeze frame, and there's our final freeze frame. So yeah, so that's looking great. So now we're ready to build our scene. First step is to cut our action scene into two so we can insert our guy in the elevator. So we'll do that first. Then we rearrange, put our clip in. Yep, that's looking good. And now finally, let's do a test run to see how it all looks. Okay, so we now have everything in the right order. Now it's time to do the final edit. So let's get started. So let's start by actually making our freeze frames match up. I like to do this. So let's just get the timings the same. Okay, that's good. Next thing we do, let's get the soundtrack ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have music over the action scenes, but not when the guy's in the elevators. Put my finger on the Alt key and drag across. Yep, so that's looking good. So we don't want it there, so we just stop it at this point. So that's looking good. So we've got the soundtrack. So now let's put on some text. So let's go to our effects. Let's go to our titles. And let's put on a text plus. So we'll drop one over the top of that freeze frame. And then we'll drop one over the top of this freeze frame. Yeah, that's looking great. Let's just zoom out a little bit. Let's activate that track because we turned it off earlier. Yeah, so we've got custom text. Custom text. So that's looking great. Now let's change the custom text value on our first text node. So what we're going to do is make this a little bit more cinematic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the font to start with. And it's a little bit big, so let's bring it down a bit. Yep, that's about right. And let's change the tracking. That looks good to me. Yep, that's fine. So I could just copy all those settings over to this other text node here, but to be honest, let's make it a little easier. So highlight that. Let's hit the backspace. Let's click on this one, finger on the Alt key, and let's drag it across here so we know it's the same. So we're just over there. Obviously we don't want it to say that. So let's have this as the last bit of text. Yeah, there we go. So that's looking good. Yep, happy with that. So let's carry on with this sort of cinematics feel. So let's put on an adjustment clip. So quick way to do it. Let's go into the search box. And there's my adjustment clip. So I'm going to drag that on. And I'm going to adjust the whole of the scene. So let's drag it across so it's the full length. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this adjustment clip to create like a letterbox effect. But what I don't want to do is I don't want it to affect these text nodes. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring these up above the adjustment, bring that back down, drop them back over, then go back onto my adjustment clip. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the cropping, and we're just going to crop the top and the bottom. Looks about right. Yeah. Cool. So there we go. Okay, one more thing we can do just to give a little bit more movement is what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on each of the clips that is actually moving. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch on the dynamic zoom. Not on the freeze frame, just on the moving clips. So dynamic zoom on there. That's looking good. Play it, see what we got. Nice. Now obviously if you wanted to, you could use the fading to fade things out to sort of tidy it all up, but obviously we don't know what the next scene in the movie is, so we'll just leave it at that's a good enough cut for me. So we're at the end. I hope you found that really useful. I hope you can find some places where you can have a go with using freeze frames. Find a clip, try it out. It's great fun, and the more you do it, the more usage you'll find for it. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Hit the notify and subscribe for lots more videos coming. I really appreciate it, and have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye.